Thor 5 teaser 24 with Chris Hemsworth and Bradley Goldstein. Let's see what film watches to say about this and check this out.
Thor is the only original Avenger still making his headline movies. Just recently we saw Chris Hemsworth return for his fourth solo movie called Thor Love and Thunder, and he doesn't appear to be stepping away. So could this mean that a fifth movie is already in the works? Well, why don't we find out? Will it happen?
Let me tell you the story of the space Viking, Thor Odinson. He was no ordinary.
If you're a Thor fan, then you've already seen the latest addition to the franchise in which our favorite Asgardian god went up against Gore the God Butcher. The movie also marked the return of Jane Foster. However, as of today, there's still no official news about the fifth movie. It still hasn't been confirmed, but at the end of his most recent adventures, the words Thor will return appeared at the end of the credits. This seems to suggest that yet another solo outing for Thor might be coming. This ending managed to shock every viewer and got their hopes up that a fifth installment is in the making. We're sad to say that there aren't any official announcements about the fifth movie, but as far as Marvel goes, we wouldn't be surprised if the sequel would be a part of Phase 6. Phase 6 is just about to begin, and we know that the sequel isn't a part of this phase. So our best guess is that the MCU is keeping things low-key when it comes to Thor, and they're planning on surprising everyone when Phase comes. While it's safe to assume that fans will be getting another film, all they need is confirmation from director Taika Waititi. There have been so many rumors about him stepping away as director, and it's difficult for fans to imagine the world of Thor without him, as he also portrays Korg in the films. According to Waititi, he believes that they've already put out every idea and every concept out there, and he couldn't be happier with it. But he also said that he had a good run so far, and that he might even lead the project. Although he might not be completely locked down for another Thor movie just yet, we believe that many people inside the MCU believe in this franchise, and we won't allow it not to get another film. Many have mentioned that Thor will return. Words at the end of the last movie might suggest that he might appear in another MCU movie instead of a solo one. In the end, we still don't know the future of Thor 5, but we remain hopeful that the MCU will hear our prayers and deliver at least another Thor movie. Potential release date.
I will choose my own path.
With everything set so far, to speculate when we can see this movie might be hard, but not impossible. It'll likely be a long time before we return to New Asgard or see the gods go after Thor and his fellow superheroes, given that Thor Love and Thunder have only recently debuted in cinemas and the next several years of the MCU are already mapped out. If you take a look at the MCU schedule for Phase 5, you'll notice that 2023 is almost completely booked with movies, and 2024 to some extent. MCU has plans to smash that like button if you haven't done so already. But no, it has plans to release all of these movies before getting a chance to focus on a new Thor movie. The gap between the third and fourth Thor movies is a massive 5 years. However, the fourth movie was originally planned for the 2021 release date, but had to be pushed back. Given all of this, the earliest we can expect this movie to land would be in late 2024, but much more likely way beyond that. Considering that the movie hasn't been announced yet, the wait will most likely be from 2025 onwards. Some have even suggested that since the plans for Phases 5 and 6 have been confirmed up until 2025, Thor might even be a part of Phase 7, and the exact release date might be announced by the end of 2024. Yes, this is a long wait for everyone, but the MCU has had its hands full in the following years, bringing us multiple anticipated sequels and many new superheroes to the big screen. So for now, the release date may be unknown, but keep an eye on Marvel and they'll give us the answer sooner or later. Is Chris Hemsworth returning?
Thor, we need your help to win this battle. Let's go.
After spending a lot of years portraying Thor, many have wondered, has Chris Hemsworth had enough? Most of the original cast of the Avengers have already moved past portraying their roles, but Hemsworth isn't quite ready to move on. After the post-credit scenes in Thor Love and Thunder, it seems like it's inevitable that Hemsworth would be back as Thor one way or another. So far, the actor has hinted that he's not leaving the MCU just yet, so we're happy that at least Hemsworth sees himself returning as Thor. He has said that he'll be back for more and more until someone kicks him off the stage. He has further expressed his love for the character and the story. Although there's no concrete announcement of Thor 5 yet, the promise of his return, coupled with the way the last movie explicitly guarantees his involvement in Brett Goldstein's MCU story as Hercules, all signs are very positive. Currently, everything points towards a new Thor movie, with Hemsworth in the lead again, As long as he's up to play Thor, it appears that the franchise will continue, and what would Thor be without Chris Hemsworth? So far, he has been involved with the MCU for a decade, and he doesn't plan to stop now. He has high hopes for the character, and if the MCU sees this potential, we could be expecting more than just one Thor movie in the future. He could also be a part of another movie where he would show up as Thor, but only time can tell. Who will return?
When the time is right, I can talk to you.
Time's right now.
Time is not right now. Who is talking?
Aside from Hemsworth, Love and Thunder has brought back many characters both old and new. Love and Thunder ended with Thor and his adopted child Love, played by Hemsworth's real-life daughter India, heading out for some hammer-swinging action against a band of aliens. Judging by that, we believe it's fair to assume that both of them will return for the 5th installment. Although Love and Thunder brought back Natalie Portman as Jane Foster or Mighty Thor, it appears that she's unlikely to return for another movie. In the movie, she dies from stage 4 cancer, but the final post-credit scene reveals that the astrophysicist turned superhero has made it to Valhalla, the Viking afterlife. So if the doors to Valhalla open in Thor 5, we might get to see her, and Idris Elba as Heimdall returns as well. Although this is a far stretch, it's never impossible for an already dead character to return for more. Given the teases in the mid-credit scene and post-credit scene, it's likely that the 5th movie could also see Russell Crowe return, and it'll likely feature Brett Goldstein in a more prominent role as Hercules. Two other actors that seem to be surely returning to the 5th installment will be Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie and Taika Waititi as Korg. Jamie Alexander's Stiff might also smash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. But no, in all seriousness, he might return after his re-entry into the MCU. So far, it appears that most of the cast members from Love and Thunder are set to come back, but we still don't know what the 5th movie will exactly be about, guess who will be in it. But from the past movies, we have learned that most of the old cast members usually return to reprise their roles. What will happen?
Jane Foster.
At the end of Love and Thunder, Thor is teamed up with Love, and it can be assumed that Thor 5 will be centered around these two characters. Throughout the 4th movie, we have already learned a lot about Love. The child is born out of eternity and boasts incredible cosmic powers and immediately teams up with Thor to ride into battle. This alone could be a setup for another Thor movie in the MCU, but the mid-credit scene sees Russell Crowe as Zeus as he's instructing his son Hercules to kill Thor, offering insight into Thor's 5 stories. If this would be the storyline in Thor 5, then we'll be able to see Thor versus Hercules in the biggest battle to end all MCU battles. Given their power levels, and the hype will get very real very quickly. Either of these can happen in the 5th installment, but the most likely theory is that Thor will go face-to-face with Hercules in one final epic battle, which will most likely go in the MCU history. You'll love these videos next.
Subscribe, like this video. Great day. Like this video and see you guys. Bye.